team to play at the rack?
It makes them, they would be challenging to play anywhere in the country. Talent, well coached, and a depth of it. And how hard they play. They have a very good combination of what you need to be successful.
Like, how important is this week off for you guys, both physically and mentally?
I think it's very important. Now we'll know in the next 3 games, to be honest with you. We kind of tweaked some stuff, attacked some weaknesses, got some guys extra reps as far as shooting and some other things. So we talk about winning the month of February. We need to win the month of February right now, and that's where we're at.
Mike, I asked Wally about, the difference in some of these close games. Do you guys feel like you're close to kind of figuring it out in terms of breaking through?
As a coach, you always have to think that you're getting better, and 8 or 9 possessions a game, and now it's maybe 3 or 4 possessions a game. We just have to be better. We have to be tighter with the ball. We have to make better decisions. We have to make stronger decisions. And so I think the effort's there. Can it be more consistent? Yes. Can we have more of a purpose and toughness? We have to. We're in the Big East, and that's the next game is always your most difficult game, and that's certainly the case on Wednesday.
What would you consider winning the month of February? Does it mean having a winning record, or
winning record, or I always say getting better, improving, because you do have 2 games in March, so we have to start pulling some of these games out. We have to start winning some of these games that we're losing, and understand the reason why we're doing it. Understand the reason when we get in the midst of the game, whether it's UConn, whether it's at Cincinnati, there's always a stretch. And now, who's going to allow us to be successful in that stretch? Who's going to make a winning play? Who's going to make a winning decision? That just has to improve.
With smaller guards, how does that affect, what you're trying to accomplish?
Our smaller guards? Okay.
Yeah. How does that affect what you try to accomplish when you do full court press and different patterns?
Just speeding the game up. Again, we want to play at a pace that allows us to be successful. And with our guards and our ability to kind of be comfortable in transition, we want to quicken the pace up. Cincinnati, it's difficult to do it sometimes in Big East because of the fact you don't want to give up layups, but at times you're going to have to give up some open shots, maybe to get the pace in your strength.
I know it's difficult, obviously Big East games, they're no gimmies, but as a coach, do you get a better feeling looking at the schedules and seeing Providence, DePaul, and Seton Hall as opposed to Cincinnati, Louisville, Georgetown?
No. And I'm sure Villanova maybe just said this. No, this is the Big East, and if you do, you're not going to do very well. Every game is the most important game on your schedule, and every game the same preparation, the same focus, the same intensity. Anybody can beat anybody in this league. And so, we have some home games. I look at that, we have some home games. You got to protect your home. And we didn't do that the last 2 games.
How does the fact that Louisville kind of can go bigger and they have the bigger front line kind of affect what you like to do, maybe playing the 3 guards at once or playing a smaller lineup?
Just they have to be tougher in rebounding. We'll have different looks, depending on what's the problem at that moment. I have to adjust, and we need more scoring, so I'm going to have to play a little bit more smaller. If we're having trouble rebounding, then I'll put some bigs in. So Louisville, just their talent and their overall depth of talent and how hard they play is what makes them so difficult.
With that 3-game losing streak that recently went on, what were other teams doing to them? Were they beat themselves?
No, to be honest with you, they are still playing. They are still turning other teams over. They're still playing as hard. They just, you need to make winning plays and consistently make winning plays. And they weren't, maybe whether it was free throws or not taking care of the ball or not rebounding. It's the same thing with everybody, to be honest with you. Why is Rutgers on that? Well, we didn't take care of the ball. We haven't shot it real well, and we haven't rebounded. It could be, you look at it. any reason why Villanova lost yesterday. You know, whatever you take a Big East game, a lot of the same reasons why they're not successful is it could go for every team. And so I think goes for whether it's Louisville, who was the #1 team in the country, or Rutgers, or Providence, or whoever it may be.
Do you think that their makeup, are they the perfect pressing team?
Yeah, because their guards never seem to be tired. They're the quickest two, maybe in college basketball, quickest backcourt. And they have one of the best shot blockers in the country in Gorgie Deng. So they have depth. Yeah. And so they do a tremendous job in sticking with it as well. You know, their commitment to running and pressing and making the game chaotic. We're like we did last year. We're going to attack the pressure to score. Yeah. You just have to, that gray area of, okay, attacking the pressure and pulling it back out to get a great shot, or that in between time where it's not really an attack and it's not really half court. That's where we have to do a great job, and we didn't last year.
Because what Miles and Jerome said is, like, the big thing is that not when it's, if you break it, that's great, and then you got to deal with Deng, right? If you can get past that, but while you're focused on Deng, you've already beaten it. They're coming from behind and trying to swipe the ball. I mean, it almost like that goes completely overlooking the entire equation.
No question. And when you try to bring it back out, they're still there, and they're still gambling, and they're still relentless. So you just have to be strong. Decisions have to be very strong. You have to be very strong with the ball, and they do it for 40 minutes. They do it as well as I'm not sure if anybody does it better in the country right now, as far as Louisville and what they bring as far as their constant pressure.
Before these last 2 years, if you had a name of the best pressing team you went up against, can you remember? Whether as an assistant or player, I mean, was there ever a model before this where you said, if you want to be the best team?
Nolan Richardson they were incredible. Louisville's always high up there. I'll think of some. What do I think of? When I was in Pitt, St. Joe's years when they had Jameer and Delonte pressed all the time. But that was just because of their personnel.
Right.
But I think Coach Pitino does it, and that's his style.
Can you recruit to have a team like that, or do you just kind of have to get lucky where the guys you get and then just sort
the
of
way
develop?
Louisville recruits is getting lucky.
Exactly.
I think they take as good of talented players as there is in the country, and it's certainly.
But I mean, can you identify?
Yes, he identifies.
Like, I want a guy that does this.
He wants somebody who's going to be a shot blocker. He's going to have. He always has two quick guards who are relentless. He always has a bruising power. So yeah, he has, like Syracuse recruits to their zone. I think he recruits to his system and the way he presses.